Welcome to a new series of assemblies. This time we're going to be thinking about parables. Parables were stories that Jesus told. Stories about everyday things, but stories that made you think, stories that had a meaning. Today's parable is about precious things. I wonder, do you have anything that is precious or valuable to you? It doesn't have to be worth a lot of money. It could be something that you've had for a very long time. It could be something that somebody gave you. Maybe it's a photograph. Maybe it's a memory. What are your precious things?
And now for today's quiz!
Let's discover some treasure. See if you can guess what is hidden in each of these pictures. Some banknotes. A sparkly ring. Lots of coins. A priceless painting. Do you know what this one is? It's the Mona Lisa. Some gold bars and coins. But it doesn't have to be worth a lot of money. This is very precious. It's a teddy that's been in the family for a long time. Or how about a special family photograph?
Jesus and his followers lived in this area around Lake Galilee. And this would be where Jesus used to teach the people and tell them many stories. Today's parable can be found in the Bible, in part written by Matthew, and Matthew chapter 13.
The hidden treasure and the valuable pearl. Matthew chapter 13, verses 44 to 46. The kingdom of heaven is like what happens when someone finds a treasure hidden in a field and buries it again. A person like that is happy and goes and sells everything in order to buy that field. The kingdom of heaven is like what happens when a shop owner is looking for fine pearls. After finding a very valuable one, the owner goes and sells everything in order to buy that pearl.
So what do you think this might mean?
parables or stories that Jesus told were to help people to think and to learn more about what God is like.
Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. There your heart will be also. Where your treasure is, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. There your heart will be also. Where your treasure is. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. There your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. There your heart will be also. Where your treasure is. Where your treasure is. Treasure is.
That's where your heart will be. 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 That's where your heart will be.
In both of the little stories about the treasure and the pearl, somebody had to give up everything to obtain what they wanted. For Christians, that's like knowing God. Sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes it can be costly, and there are things that you can't do. But it's worth it to know the best treasure of all, knowing God and Jesus as a friend. Christians believe that that is like the most priceless treasure ever. Let's finish with a prayer. Dear God, we do thank you for things and for people that are precious and important to us. Thank you that we can read in the Bible that you are like precious treasure. Sometimes it costs to know you. Sometimes it's difficult, but knowing you is the best thing in the world. Thank you for sending Jesus into our world to show us how we could know you better. Amen.